In today's video, does starvation mode exist?
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Thank you for joining me for today's video, which is going to be on the topic of starvation mode. The reason I'm doing this video is I've been getting messages, DMs, and people have been pinging me and they keep asking me, even my clients, saying, Coach, is this true? Is starvation mode a bad thing? Is it preventing me from losing body fat? And I kept putting it off, not really thinking it was an actual question. I didn't realize that there was this movement that actually discusses starvation mode, and so I want to talk about that. I had to actually go on a couple websites, look out what they're talking about, and kind of address and correct a few things, because I understand the logic behind it. It does kind of lend itself to some truths, but that's always where we get into trouble, where we can kind of apply a few truths and kind of extrapolate that out and think, oh, that's actually correct. Well, let's talk about what the philosophy here is. The philosophy is, and from what I could gather, it comes from a lot of the things like The Biggest Loser. People typically, when they lose a lot of body weight, will put it all back on. And so the theory there is that we are going into what's called starvation mode, where you can't actually lose body fat if your body goes into this mode. Meaning, even if you lower calories and increase cardio and increase the deficit, you're not going to increase the likelihood of losing weight. Let's just stop right there. If you are in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. Zero chance. It's been proven time and time again. Anytime a study has been put out where people were in a caloric deficit, now when I say study, I mean those that were studied, actually paid attention to. We're not talking about asking people what they were eating or asking people what they were doing. I'm talking about in a lab setting, okay? So the biggest research that would lend itself to this would be the Minnesota starvation experiment, where they took men and they put them in a starvation diet of about 1,500 calories to start, and then they reduced their calories as the process was going to ensure that they were dieting. And guess what? They continued to lose weight the entire time this diet was going on. And so if you're interested, now they can't do research like this anymore. You can't starve people for 6 months, okay? Some really cool things happened during that study that, you know, they can't replicate because no board is going to allow this study to be done again. But trust me, if you are in a caloric deficit, you are going to lose weight. So why are people not losing weight when they think they're in a diet which would lead to a caloric deficit? Well, the reason is they're actually not in a caloric deficit. The body does something. It adapts. So whatever you want to refer to this metabolic adaptation or thermogenic adaptation, the same amount of calories that you're eating at the beginning of your diet that you're eating at the end of your diet will actually store more. You'll actually extract more calories from it. Your body actually gets better at extracting calories. So that's why I can see there might be some confusion where people say, oh, I am eating the same amount of calories, but I'm now gaining weight. Well, that's the reason. Your body is adaptive. So when you're just talking about calories in versus calories out, there's a whole lot of stuff going on within our bodies that are so dynamic that allows us to survive, okay? Our bodies are survival machines. They're not lose fat machines or look good machines. They're survival machines. Our brain, our anatomy, it's designed so that we can survive. It's not designed so that we can look good in a bathing suit this summer. So what do we do? Let's talk about the Biggest Loser issue. We all know, if we've watched that show, that they do extreme measures to lose weight. Things like cutting water, hours of extracurricular activity. They have them exercising way beyond what they would normally do in their day-to-day lives, just so they can get on the scale that we can say that big number, 8, 10, 12 pound drop. Well, that is an actual problem because they're not allowing their bodies to adapt, they're forcing them. When I work with a client, or what I recommend to my clients, is that we're allowing the body to adapt, allow it to change over time, to get into a position where we are as healthy as possible while reaching our goal body weight. Now, for those that compete and want to get to a sub 10%, 8%, 5% body fat, we understand that that is going to be a temporary period where we're not considered healthy, okay? We look really good, we're not really that healthy. We are food obsessed, we are under eating, we are overtraining, the whole nine to get to that position. But we're doing it for a goal. That's when you see the pictures of people looking shredded with their abs and obliques and lines and striations, okay? I am actually actively dieting right now to compete. So I will be getting to a place that is probably considered unhealthy by most. Does that mean I'm going to go into starvation mode? No. Starvation mode does not exist. There is no such thing as a place we can get where our metabolism will not allow us to lose weight. If that was the case, no one would ever starve to death. You will continue to lose weight and lose body fat if you increase and keep a caloric deficit throughout the process, okay? Now, there are so many things at play, and I'm not gonna go into depth here. I just wanted to discuss this starvation mode philosophy and theory and set your mind right. No, there is no starvation mode. Hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I can do some more in-depth videos. If you're curious on how I approach dieting and you want a free guide, well, I've got that. Go to prophysiquefree.com. prophysiquefree.com, and you can just get a free flexible dieting ebook that my staff wrote, and I'm happy to give it to you guys. If you're interested in more discussions on metabolism, fat loss, well, type in my name, or maybe I'll put them at the end of the video here where you can see my thoughts on how to fix a metabolism, right? How to restore a metabolism. There's something called a reverse diet, so looking up reverse dieting. There are ways around this. It's not a hopeless lost cause. It's gonna be work, but it's not a lost cause. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. Hopefully you're having an awesome day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
By myself.